Hey there, it's Lauren. Welcome back to another Take Action Tuesday. Today we are going to dissect our belief system around communication and how it relates to AAC. Not only will this give you clarity on your goals, it will help you navigate the AAC conversation with others. Are you ready to dive in? Let's go. Let's start with a definition of belief. The Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy states the word belief is used to refer to an attitude we have whenever we take something to be true. We have spiritual beliefs, we have beliefs in humankind, we even have beliefs that if I wear the same shirt and sit in the same seat, my team is absolutely going to win again next time. We center a lot of our life around our belief systems. Belief systems are fluid and they change over time. As we gain more knowledge and experience, we shape these beliefs to fit the season that we are in. So how does this idea of beliefs apply to AAC? We have a belief system constructed on what successful communication is, what it looks like, what it can sound like, and even what it can feel like. And when it comes to AAC, this method of communication can often disrupt that belief that we have. For me, I believe that successful communication is when the individual is able to express whatever they are looking to express using diverse communication. They are able to talk to anyone they are looking to talk to in whatever setting they are looking to communicate in. I asked a few other people what their definitions of successful communication was, who are not speech therapists, and they said that being able to get your point across with the least amount of verbal or nonverbal communication, and they also said sharing a message that is easily understood by the listener. So definitions are going to vary, and so will the details in that definition. But when we zoom in and think about AAC, those of us that know about AAC know that it ultimately can support effective communication. But for many of our families, professionals, and even other SLPs out there, they see it as a deviation from what their belief in effective communication is. So I want to point out, like I said before though, beliefs can change. I like the idea of a belief system and use it as we support our goal setting. I encourage you to have this conversation with families, teachers, other professionals, or if you're a family member watching right now, have this conversation with yourself. What does successful communication look like for this individual? We likely have a vision of what successful communication looks like. This is often really tied to our belief, and now we need to apply that to the specific individual. The more specific here, the better. All the little details, because this is a really great opportunity to gain a lot of insight into how people view communication and what they want out of communication. And if you are able, please ask the communicator themselves too. Find out what they are looking to communicate and support that first and foremost. When we know the end goal, we can look at the details and we can break down this goal into really actionable steps. And we can gain a lot of insight into others' thoughts and feelings around communication. We can also challenge individuals to check in with their belief system to see if it lines up with the goals that they're creating. Sometimes they don't always line up, and that's a really good opportunity for a conversation. So I recently did an evaluation where 3 caregivers were present, and they all had different end goals for the AAC user. The one wanted the boy to be able to create sentences. The other wanted him to be able to use single words to quickly tell them how he felt. And the other wanted him to be able to share what she knows he's able to share with the world. And the AAC user wanted a more efficient way to communicate. This information allowed me to tailor my presentations of the device to meet everyone's needs. So I was explaining the features in a way that would really support all the stakeholders, speaking directly to what they were aiming for, what their goal was. So I realized this example already has AAC as part of the goal. I hear from all of you, and I've had experience with it myself, that often AAC is not part of the goal, and we are spending time getting others on board or teaching others and creating knowledge around AAC. And it's not always for just parents, sometimes it's for other SLPs too. And there's a lot to this conversation, and we can't possibly cover it all in this episode, but what I want you to start thinking about is how a discussion about beliefs and goals can start to guide this conversation. At the very least, give you significant insight into their reluctance. We want to start by asking families if they are comfortable with using supports to get their goal. Are they willing to change their beliefs, to try something new? Are they willing to support the child where they are at now, knowing that it might change in the future? What knowledge and experience can we bring to the table to help provide a shift in that belief to make it more rounded? Keeping in mind that we all have unique ways of learning and digesting information. So what you might say to me to help shift my belief might not be what you say to my husband to help shift his belief. And it's up to us to kind of navigate that and find the best way to have these conversations. I also need you to know that if you do have this discussion and you really listen to the family or the other professionals and you provide your information and they still don't want to use AAC, they are not any less of parents or professionals. You need to lead with compassion in these cases and leave your judgment behind, because they have a reason, and we may not like it and we may not agree with it, but it is there. And this happens a lot of times with many other things in life. Typically, there's a controversial topic, but we all have different beliefs, and not one person is necessarily right. But when we can provide the information and have the conversations, we can really get down to the base of it. What is it that makes this challenging, or makes it scary, or makes it overwhelming? So I want you to take some time when you have these conversations to really figure out how you can move forward. What supports can you provide? And then can you revisit the conversation for AAC another day? Remember that people are not sitting there going, oh, you know what, I really just don't want to give Johnny access to communication. I'd prefer if he could never talk again. People are not thinking that. People are just stuck in their current mindset, and that mindset might not include AAC. So we really just have to navigate this conversation, again, with compassion and not judgment. If you are having some difficulty navigating this mindset discussion, I created a mindset map for you. It is a free resource. It goes through 6 different steps to discuss how to work through mindset, the first being beliefs, the second being goals that we talked about today. You can find the link for the free resource below this video. If you are looking for even more information, I also created an AAC Mindset Workbook. This is a paid resource, but it takes those 6 components of the AAC Mindset map and breaks them down into both educational components and interactive worksheet components to really give you a full, well-rounded picture of how to support this. All right, so today I threw out some guided questions to really get you started with the discussion about communication beliefs. And I know it can be a little bit heavy, but I can assure you it's going to shed a lot of light on your client's beliefs and also how you view communication. I look forward to seeing you next week, where we are going to talk all about the top 5 mindset shifts for AAC.